visual clue. Hello friends, this is Ominous. For responsible gaming and Ominous designs, we're gonna do, it's the first time I say it without getting stuck on the words. Pronunciation, yay. So happy. We're gonna do episode 119 of Ominous Designs. This one is gonna be about Planeswalkers, a lot of Planeswalker stuff. Let's just get started, straight up. So, as not per usual, I'm doing this episode on Sunday night. Most of the time, if you want to tune in at the exact time, I do it on Tuesday night because the article is on Wednesday. If you want to know exactly, I also tend to do it when Tuesday night, like I don't know, 7:38, maybe around 8, depending on if I eat first. If you want alerts about when I get started, you can follow me on Twitter, Responsible Gaming. Twitch is alert I check. You can also follow me on Twitter. You get alerts through via Twitch itself. But yeah, I do check that my Twitter is posting correctly, and now I think it's working fine. So I can finally say that you get some alerts that correspond to what I'm doing when I'm doing it, which is amazing. So that's cool. And also, kind of unlike usual, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do for the first card. I mean, I know in the Great Lines. So what we're gonna do for Planeswalkers, I think this was corrected as, well, whatever. Yeah, we fixed it at 2, I think, in the end. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do creatures. Oh, I'm looking for art now. No, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do creatures that care about Planeswalkers. And what I would like. See, so the things with creatures who care about Planeswalker is you kind of want this to be either a higher rarity or it has to be very incidental the way they care about Planeswalkers, because you don't want that to be a major part of the card, otherwise they're gonna just suck in limited because you'll never have a Planeswalker to use with them. And I guess that's kind of what they did with the Oath of the Gatewatch. They try and give them 2 abilities, one that cares about the Planeswalker, one that doesn't. And we're gonna try and strive to do something of the sort. Something else that should be pretty straightforward or obvious for us is that making some room. We want, well, it's not that straightforward, but I want something that's gonna work well in control decks, I think, just because they're the one that will the most reliably try and use many Planeswalkers. That's the most obvious one, at least. Sometimes Rampy deck, like Gruul colors, are using Planeswalkers. Sometimes green are using Planeswalkers. I mean, everybody who uses Planeswalkers at one time or another, but that's the most obvious ones. And that's just the first thing that comes to mind, really. So I think I want to do something that just kind of clogs the ground, blocks, and gives you some time in a control deck. So I want a good defensive speed defender guy. Yeah, that's what I want. So anyways, I'm starting to think. And none of us want that, do we? So several things. I could see a creature potentially blue. I could see something with a big butt. And oh, by the way, maybe I should have thought about this whole thing a little bit more. So we're gonna try. What is battalion? Battalion is not there? Damn. No way. Wait, this just doesn't work, does it? Yeah, okay. Pseudo. Oh, right. Because. Oh, interesting. Battalion. Um. Yeah, I should have thought a little bit about this because I don't even have a name for the keyword. Let's call it follower. We'll see if I get a stroke of genius in the time of this article for something better. Or disciple. Disciple is cool. So now the question is first, do we do a static effect or do we do a triggered effect for the fact that you have planeswalkers? What I don't want is something that triggers when you cast a planeswalker, because that's weird and it's kind of like what Eldrazi are doing. I don't want some guy that cares about every time a planeswalker enters or comes into play. It's rare and it's weird. What I want is a guy that has always better that is always better when you have a planeswalker. So that can be um, that basically can be static or at the beginning of your upkeep if you have a planeswalker or something. Uh, the problem with the at the beginning of your upkeep is it's going to be one-time effects. And for example, if I was thinking of, okay, let's have the creature have a bigger butt, that's one thing I was thinking. Um, then you would need to say at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a planeswalker, this creature gain plus X, plus O plus X until end of turn, which is fine but very inelegant to me. That means you need to apply a one turn effect every turn, and I think that's kind of weird. It's like a complete um, it's like a complete static boost, except it's applied in a non-static every turn, which is weird. Um, but we can find something. We can find something. Plus, I was thinking also something else is that I could do the disciple ability could be at the beginning of the upkeep, and it could be like disciple at the beginning of your upkeep if you control a planeswalker, blah, and then the creature could say that creature gain plus or plus X as long as you control a planeswalker. In which case the creature is doubling down on a planeswalker, but the disciple ability is something that triggers on your upkeep. I think that would be reasonable. I'm saying a lot of things. Get a lot of thoughts in my head right now. So this is the Lieutenant from Commander Products, which shows you how you do something that says as long as you control a commander, something something. So I think now to think in terms of not just one card, if the ability was to be applied to several cards, the Disciple ability, would you prefer it to be a static effect or a triggered effect? And I think most definitely a triggered effect would be better, simply because static uh, static effects are um, they're just going to be limited basically to power boost, giving some abilities. Maybe this creature gains ability X, but which actually could be sweet. But the triggered ability could be anything, right? We know, like at the beginning of if you control Planeswalker, pay your green, put a +1 counter somewhere, gains flying until end of turn, anything, destroy a creature, deal damage. So and even so, I just thought of maybe as a static you could go gain this ability, but I don't want even that is cute, but if you want to apply this on all your disciple creatures, it starts to get annoying. Like if like all your disciple creature gain an activated ability, that's kind of contrived. So yeah. So now, what can we do with a creature that is good for defense in a planeswalker-oriented deck? I just had one idea, but I think it's going to be too powerful. So let's say I start with something that's like a... Whoa, it's for 5. No, that's too much. Because it needs to be playable in constructed. I mean, I would like it to be, yeah, I would really like it to be playable in constructed. Otherwise, oh, damn, there's so many thoughts. So yeah, I would like it to be playable in constructed because that's kind of where the payoff is going to be, is when you really want to construct something that can reliably expect a planeswalker. But I also don't want it to be dead in limited, which is kind of unfortunate because that means it kind of just needs to be fine on its own, because again, in limited, you won't be able to rely on a planeswalker at all. And I don't even need it to be good or fine in limited, but it would be great that it's not garbage, you know? Because otherwise the card is just, the limited players are like, what is this? What is this thing? And they get confused, and they might play bite cards when really the point of the card is to be in constructed. So I want it to be okay, and it could be like a 1/4 for 3. I'm trying to think of the very base of what could be acceptable. This would be bad, but it wouldn't be shocking, aesthetically displeasing, and be like, what is this crappy card doing there when you open a booster? It's still, for the uncommon slot, it's still pretty much garbage. I mean, it's kind of bad. So if I was to push it even more, I could give it flying. I'm just free flowing right there. We'll see where it goes. So a 1/4 flyer for 3 is justified. It could exist. Now you could get this guy has flying as long no, as vigilance. That's one thing that I was you know what? I'm thinking of something else now. So Planeswalker, Truk, and so I'm just throwing it in now, and I'll give you some thoughts. So this would be interesting, and that would be an uncommon, I think. And then if I go all the way, what I was thinking is I'm gonna give you everything now. So at the beginning of your game, if you control a planeswalker, okay, so something like that. Keywords. Why is this called battalion still? Matches disciple. So disciple. How does this work? Ugh. I understand. Okay, this is a bit of a... I guess I'll work it out in private. But yeah, the idea would be like disciple gain maybe even 2. That might be a little overkill, but it's hilarious. Okay, so I don't know why this is not exactly working, but that's fine. Maybe it's because additional rules remind the text. That might be. What's the problem? I don't freaking know. That's weird. Whatever. So what do you think? One thing is it might be too much for a uncommon. That being said, I love the idea that I could have a I love the idea that I could have a bigger guy that has vigilance. It would be kind of massive. It would be a 2/5 flyer. It would be pretty sweet. Um, and it would also have vigilance, so you can poke a little bit, keep defending your planeswalker, gain life. That would be sweet. But there's a couple things that bother me. First, this is really efficient in defense. Like you get a 2/5. It's got vigilance, so you're fine. It's got flying, so you're fine. And you can keep a 2/5 in the way of your planeswalker and gain life. This is not going to be fun for the aggro strategies. Which, I mean, is the point, but sounds too efficient to me. Now, I could actually have a 2/3 flyer. What could a 2/3 flyer evolve into? First, a 2/3 flyer for 3 is crap in constructed if you don't get your upside with the planeswalker though. But then that could justify that you put a very high upside. So the people would be like, I'm playing a 2/3 flyer for 3 in my control deck. It's crap, but there's a high upside if I get a planeswalker. The high upside could be, so let's see, +1/+1 vigilance, for example, and gain life. That would make you a 3/4 vigilance flyer. That would be sick. 2/3 that all of a sudden has only vigilance and gains you life might not be enough. 2/3 that against double strike would not be very white blue, but it would be kind of interesting. 2/3 that gains vigilance and hexproof and gains you life could be interesting. I mean, 3 is not that fantastic a blocker though. So 3/4, I feel like 3/4 flyer gains you life. Like I can't have that have vigilance. Otherwise, like you drop a planeswalker on turn 4 after having this guy, and you're just like beating people up pretty bad. It's hard. It's hard to balance, isn't it? How about it starts as a 2/2 flyer for 3? That's not good at all in limited, but it's playable. It's a 2/2 flyer. For 3, 2 colors is what makes it not very good, but it's still playable. Usually you would get an upside for 2 colors. And then it gains +1/+1 vigilance. I think would be acceptable, even though it would be very good. and you might be fine with a 1 life. I don't know for sure. It's hard to tell because for control players, they if it's not excellent at blocking, it's kind of diluted strategy. Like it attacks a little bit, which is fine, but it also blocks a little bit, which is fine. But it's not blocking fantastically. I'm thinking of Nixless Ram. Um, oh boy, this guy. He gains 1 life, but he's a freaking 0/5 for 2. And I think control decks wants a 0/5 for 2 more than a 2/2 flyer for 3. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So it is still not exactly what we want. I kind of want it to be constructed playable. Um, it's taking a while now, isn't it? What are the things that I would like it to be ultimately? Um, I could want it to be a 2/4 flying vigilance. That's starting to be kind of sweet. And I think I would want the gain 2 life too in the end, because I don't think you can sell competitive control player on a 2/2 flyer that if they drop their planeswalker becomes a 2/4 flyer vigilance that only gains 1. I don't know. It might be okay. It might be better. It might be good too. So that would be between 1 and 2 life, I guess. It depends on how much you want to push it. I'm afraid 2 life return is actually too fast. Like if your opponent doesn't do anything, yeah, I think I would start at 1. And then I don't know if it's good enough for constructed, but at least it has the potential of having people consider it. And then it depends on the format and blah and so on. Now, aesthetically speaking, I think no. I was gonna say it could be that you have a 2/2 flying vigilance for 3, but that might be too good. It might not though. I don't know about the templating either, because look, I could see something like this. If I do this, then I could have this become only flying vigilance, disciple, uh, gain 1 life, and what's his face gains +2 until end of turn. I know it's what I said I didn't want to do, but it's only a matter of aesthetics, and I don't love it. But if it prevents me from having 2 lines and one that is not using my keyword, that's great for aesthetics. And I actually don't feel like it looks so bad. Gain 1 life and what's his face gain +2 until end of turn. I think it's kind of fine. I think this version is fairly elegant, to be honest. So I'll have to fix the disciple because I don't know how that works exactly. But I kind of like it. I don't think flying vigilance is that bad because it's pretty darn good. But for 3 in 2 colors, I've gotten the Boros guy in well, in the initial Ravnica and in Gatewatch. That's a Gatewatched. Gatewatch. That is a 2/2 flyer haste for 1 and a Boros, so 1 white red. And we trade haste for vigilance, which is mostly not better. Being able to block when you attack is only good if you want to trade your flyer, which is not fantastic a proposition, right? You don't really want to trade your flyer. So yeah, I think it's probably reasonable. And in for 1 and a Simic, you get a 3/1 Flying Tremble, which is also pretty darn sweet. So the base proposition is good. The added proposition is good too. I like it. I will find the flavor later because we have a couple things to do now. Next, I would like to revisit a creature. Oh, do I though? Yeah, probably. Um, hmm. I'm hesitating now. I wanted to revisit a creature first initially, but I also kind of want to visit for the first time, or revisit now, I guess, the Disciple keyword, because it is pretty fun. Um, the problem with for visiting the keyword is that I haven't thought about it, so I'm gonna need to do everything live. Um, Screw it. Yeah, it's a good keyword, isn't it? Yeah, it's a good keyword. It's just fun. Planeswalker matters. Um, it's hard to balance too because, again, you need a creature that's fine without it and even better with it. But it's try. Um, so on top of my head, throwing IDs, I kind of wanted to have a no, I thought of a red guy. Um, the problem with the red guys is that they don't usually have Planeswalker with them. It's kind of harder to have Planeswalkers. And nah, it would be actually I've done that great an idea. I mean, Disciple could be like I was thinking of something like that. Disciple would be um, deals um, oh, 2, maybe beaucoup. That would be a lot. To target player. That would be fun. And that would be a like. How about that? Tremble. I don't want to give first strike because that's nasty. I could give first strike, bump it down, bump it down to like 2/2, which would it would completely suck in limited, and then I could have the Disciple give it a boost of attack, which would make it sweet when you have a Planeswalker. Because as it is, either you already have a Planeswalker and you make yourself a 3/2 haste. Oh, you can't even because it's at the beginning of the upkeep, so it doesn't work at all. So haste is no good. It's too bad. So you could be like plus, I don't know, +1 +0. It's probably enough. It's what it gets. And then it could be a haster then, I guess. Oh no, we said first strike. It's not gonna be haste first strike. That's like crazy. But oh yeah, but I wanted to take it down a notch anyways. So 3/2 haste first strike, 2/2 haste first strike. So the problem with that thing is that yeah, it still doesn't really work because it's great to have a 3/2 first striker that has haste and deals damage. The problem is in constructed, so in limited, haste first strike, 2/2 for 3, why not? In constructed, the problem is, say you have your Planeswalker and you drop this, it's still a 2/2 first strike. It still needs to get the upkeep trigger to be a 3/2 first strike and to do damage. And when you play your 2/2 haste first strike in constructed, it's just sad. It's just not very good at all. So that doesn't work really. That does not really work. Could we get a gruel in there? That would be kind of hilarious. Gruel would be basically a trampler, I guess. In limited on face value, I think I can give you a 4/3. I don't think a 3/3 trample for 4 is playable in limited, or it would be pretty sad. Again, taking for granted that there is no way we get the disciple in limited. 4/3 trample for 4 is fun. It's not even fantastic, but it's fine. Wait a sec. Rampager is a 4/4 trample for 4, isn't he? He's pushed as crap. Yeah, he's pushed as all heck. But wait a sec. Wasn't there other ones too? CMC 4, Power 4, Toughness 4, Colors, Green, and Red. Let's see what we get. Okay, alright. Rare, rare, rare. Otherwise, you get a 4/4 for 4 in common. Okay. Okay. Well, there's precedent. I don't know. I mean, what the heck? Yes, I do want a creature. Yeah, I do want to make a creature that's as good as Gorkon Rampager if I can. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Gorklan wasn't even dominating really in constructed. He was played, and he was played very nicely sometimes, but I don't think he was ever omnipresent. That seems fun. Now, 2 damage to a player sounds kind of like just mean. So Creature. How about +1/+1? We're Gruul after all. I could see it being 1 damage to a creature just because it's gonna be great at dealing 1 damage to a creature, and then if it blocks you, you are now a 5/5 trampler, which means you're gonna kill the whatever creature you damaged better, and you're gonna trample over it better. And two is virtually making you into a, I mean, yeah, it's virtually making you into a 7/5. If you get blocked by the creature, you deal 2 damage too, which is insane. And also potentially makes you remove a creature from the board straight up every turn if you get some targets that will die from it. So this is like what. Now the problem is like this is, I think, probably more balanced, but people are gonna wonder why you are doing 1 damage somewhere. Like this is kind of weird to do 1 damage. It's not intuitive. And also, it's kind of like poke for Gruul. It doesn't feel like really massive and powerful. I think I'm still very conscient of the time we've been spending here. Unfortunately, I can actually not tell. I have nothing to. Oh yeah, it's been 40 minutes. Damn. Okay. Yeah, let's try and move on, I guess. Because I do have one last thing to show you, and it might take a little bit. Let's take it for what it is. We're playing timed today. We're timed. So that's how I could come up with it. There might be a chance that I modify it before I publish it. It'll be a surprise for you. And I did none of the flavor, so do check out the articles. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be reopening an old card that I wanted to look at. Look at this. Tybalt. Tybalt is a double-faced planeswalker. It drops at 2. Oh boy. So I think, yeah, my idea was it drops at 2 and it can destroy target active arc, you lose 2 life. And that is so that it's playable in very high stake tournaments, I guess. Formats like Legacy, I suppose you can destroy artifacts. It's sweet by going up. +2, Tybalt does 1 damage up to 1 creature and 1 damage to that creature's controller. That's because it's a +2. That's weird. How about, and we get a -2 destroy target creature. Okay. The idea was that you can plus him or you can minus him on the other side. Yeah, okay. So, and that's why there is 2 plus and 2 minuses. Which is unfortunate because one thing that I would have loved is that he is a sorcery speed terminate if you want him to be, and I don't think there is any way of doing that. At best, we could make him. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, I can't because it's only plus abilities, and I want a 0 here. So I want to leave him at 0. Oh, and that. Okay, the thing I wanted to change in this Planeswalker was I didn't want a 0 that says transform him, you can do something else, because I think it's dumb. You get a 0. Is it so dumb? I guess. I mean, it kind of sucks because it just doesn't do anything. But what's good is I can keep the -2 on the other side of Tybalt, and then all of a sudden I do 0, destroy, and I get my terminate right here. So okay, and there's something else is I wasn't sure I wanted the Planeswalker with 6 actual abilities because the alternative is you do a 2, 1, 0, and the 0 does something, flips Tybalt. And then alternatively over here the 0 does something, flips Tybalt. And that would make it a 6 ability Planeswalker. That being said, you would only ever access the 2 last ones or the 3 last ones if you are forced to do that one. So it might be okay. So what am I saying? I think being able to be a terminate is something that I really like. Like I really like. Even though that's gonna make for a pretty sweet terminate, sorcery speed terminate that comes with a planeswalker with like 6 abilities. This is tough, isn't it? It's pretty tough. Well, So the other possibility is to not keep the plus on a side and the minuses on another side. So I could have my plus something minus 2, it dies. 0, blah blah, and then over here I get a whatever. I kind of like that, to be honest. What I kind of like is to have a 1 here. This is going to be a fun planeswalker. Then we're going to have this one here. How's that? It's pretty sweet. Then this is gonna make me think of more and more abilities though, which is probably gonna be tough. A 0, transform him, so something that leaves a 2 loyalty planeswalker, and so 0 means neutral, means not that fantastic an ability, but still reasonable, but on a 2-drop. What is the original table doing? I mean, it sucks, but what else? It does +1, draw a card, and discard at random. Oh yeah, we could do draw discard. It's not very black. What is Sarkhan doing? Is Sarkhan the only, Sarkhan is the only, sorry. Sarkhan is the only Rakdos planeswalker, isn't he? 0, refill the top card of the library and put it in your hand. Sarkhan deals damage to himself. Blah. -2, -4. Yeah. So, Tybalt. We need to make sure he doesn't get out of hand anyways, because I mean this thing has 6 loyalty and costs 2. This is probably already stupid as it is. Yeah, he might already be stupid of me to make such card. So destroy artifact, because this already destroys an artifact and leaves you with a 3 loyalty planeswalker that can destroy a creature and stay alive. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. It is kind of nasty. So okay, so what if this is actually not there either? What if this does like the original actually deals 1 damage to target player and 1 damage to target target player. Target creature. Sounds reasonable. But then all right. Wait. So many things, so many things. Okay, so I'll still have the artifact kind of thing for the other side. This is gonna take forever, isn't it? So over here we'll have destroy target artifact. Get this guy. Then we get a 0. Then we get a minus something. And you know what? I actually kind of want to do uh, like something of small impact, because I don't want this thing to get out of hand. Uh, so I want like Anger of the Gods, or maybe even just each creature, and that's it. T Bolt, just that deals damage. And then I want, so I still need 0 on both face. So this guy would need to do that, then a 0, and then he would be able to deal 3 damage to a creature, which would be tough. Can I put a -1/-1 counter on target creature for 0? I would find myself with a 2 loyalty planeswalker that can do something else to flip back that we haven't figured out. Destroy an artifact to get to 3, and then do Anger of the Gods, which is kind of fun. Put a -1/-1 counter. No, because but you need to transform him. I think it's too good though, because you put a -1 on somebody, and then you stay at 2 and you do your 0, and then you put another -1 on somebody else. That's already pretty annoying. I don't know. I mean, the problem is, can we, like, we're trying to make a T-Bolt that doesn't suck. So is that, it's probably too much. I'm just gonna want to see it. I mean, this is most likely too good, I guess. It would be cool if you lost life all the time. I wonder if, actually, I kind of want it to cost you a bunch to use this planeswalker that does a ton of stuff. Destroy target creature, like you lose 1 life. That's getting kind of fun. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, so that wouldn't make you lose life. And I would transform him. And this would what if it was the same? What if it was put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, you lose a life. Or you lose 2 life? That would be hilarious, actually. But I mean, losing 2 life every time you use your Planeswalker sounds a little intense, but this is all sorts of fun, and this is all sorts of Rakdos. And I kind of want to. Maybe I don't want it to be symmetrical all the time. What about one life everywhere? +1, +1. This is really sucky. Um, I was wondering, what about, so if you zero him, then you +1 him, you can do this. So you need a 0 and a +1, and I was wondering, what if you actually gain life when you do the ultimate? That would be too easy because you would need to do 2 abilities and then you gain life. Yeah, screw that. This is gonna be asymmetrical, I guess. So I think this is fun. I think this is pretty fun. This is so complex that there is probably many ways this is not balanced, but this is definitely fun. Uh, I'm gonna need, I just realized, to switch those over here. Uh, destroy target creature, you lose 1 life. Destroy target creature, destroy target creature, you lose 1 life. That's the 0, and that's the -2. Alright, 55 minutes. This is probably gonna be the timeout for this card as well. It looks alright. Looks alright, like I said, probably some developmental issues. There's probably some kind of weirdness and some kind of brokenness, one way or another. But it's fun base. It's a pretty fun base. Cool. Let's call it because it's been forever now. Awesome. I hope you like this. Do follow me. Do subscribe. All the channels, all the things. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, website, all of it. Direct message me if you find me somewhere. It's been a pleasure. I will see you next time. Have a great week.